Hello dear students, today we are going to see about overloading of insertion and extraction operator. Okay, as we are knowing about the insertion operator with cout and extraction operator which comes with cin. So we are going to see how these insertion and extraction operator are used and how they are overloaded with the help of stream actually, because cin and cout are stream objects and we are seeing about files and streams. So cin and cout are related to input stream and output stream. So when I'm using cin.get cin.write, I can use this function using a dot operator. But if I have to use the operators such as insertion and extraction operator, then I have to overload it, which is already been done by the manufacturers and the compilers of C++. But just to make a notice of how it is used, we are going to see overloading of insertion and extraction operator. Now for overloading of insertion and extraction operator, we are going to see about that you have to do it with the help of friend functions. You remember that overloading can be done with the help of two things, that is member function and friends function. So when you are overloading the insertion and extraction operator, remember that you have to overload it with the help of friend functions. Okay, and these overloading and insertion and extraction operators are actually known as binary operator. So it needs since it is friend function and binary operator, they will have two arguments. So first argument of all these insertion and extraction operator must be either o stream object or I stream object. So if you are overloading the insertion operator, it should be o stream object, and if you are overloading extraction operator, then it must be an first argument should be an I stream object. So we'll see how it goes on. Now to overload the operator, this is extraction operator. You have this prototype, you have friend function, iStream, you have to give ampersand, then the name of the function operator and whatever operator, that is the extraction operator. Since it is an extraction operator, your first argument of it will be iStream, and you have to remember it has to be given by a reference. Okay, the argument should be a reference argument, that is why we are writing ampersand, and then whatever second argument is, that is the object of a class. So here consider that if m class is there, m ampersand means the object of m class. So for example, as shown, you are having that iStream ampersand operator, extraction operator, iStream ampersand, and you have given the object of iStream as in, then comma, m class and its object. Okay, but both of this should be referred with a reference. And then while using, instead of writing cin, now we are going to use in, because iStream object is now replaced with in. So in, and you have to give the extraction operator, after that object dot and whatever variable or data members you are having in the class. Suppose your m class is having a data member data, then see that when you are writing in case of, when you are writing in case of a class, you simply write it as class. And suppose I'm having a class A, and inside that I'm having a void in function. So how we are writing this, and if it is having a data member as integer p, so how we write it as that we have to give it as cin, and we have to write it as cnp. But if this function becomes a friend function, okay, if it becomes a friend function, then how we are doing it, for a friend function we have to give this as a, and you have to write ampersand and ob, and then cnob dot p, because this cannot, a friend function cannot access the p data member of a class directly. You have to use as an object, इसीलिए आप लिख रहे हो ob dot p. So in the similar manner, here in function is there, which is accessing the a object. Okay, and then you are accessing p using the object. इस तरीके से हम लिखते हैं. But now what is happening, our in function has been replaced with, now this in function has been replaced with what, void in has been replaced with operator. Okay, and extraction, and inside this I'm passing what, I stream, okay, ampersand, and then in. This is I'm doing. So that is why I will have to write, instead of cin I will have to write in and then ob dot p. But whatever this function is, it does after reading the things, it has to pass return in. So you need to pass a iStream object. That is why the return type is not void for this. It is iStream ampersand and then operator. Okay, so this is shown in the screen that you all are having what, iStream in m dot data and then return in. Okay, now consider this, what, overloading of insertion operator. Again, overloading of insertion operator is same, but instead of I stream I go for what, O stream ampersand. Okay, the similar way you are going to have, but remember it should have last statement as return, and if it is I stream, that is input, if you are taking, give it as return in, and if it is output, you have to give return out. Okay, so this is an example how you can write. See, in the main function how to write it, you have to create a class object and then cout an object. अभी तक हम लोगों ने क्या देखा, we have to write ob dot display, ob dot show function, but instead of that if you want to use a cout and then ये operator and then ob. देखो operator हम overloading कब करते हैं, जब object के साथ कोई operator है, तो यहाँ पे ob is an object and then cout is an iStream object. Between both of these object you have having insertion operator. That is why I'm using what, operator overloading. So I hope you have understood this. We'll see an example. Here I'm creating a class complex with real and imaginary as my data members. I have a constructor which is assigning the real and imaginary values, and I'm having two functions, iStream and OStream. Both are overloaded with the help of a friend function. Here I'm taking complex object as my class is complex. Okay, सो अगेन इफ आई एम सेइंग, देखो जब आप इनपुट लेते हो तो आप क्या लिखते हो, एंटर रियल पार्ट सी डॉट रियल, एंटर इमेजिनरी पार्ट सी डॉट इमेजिनरी, बट हियर आई एम यूजिंग इंस्टेड ऑफ सी इन आई विल यूज इन. ओके, and while using operator insertion, overloading an insertion operator, you are writing out c dot real, out c dot imaginary, and so on. And inside the main, just observe that while creating a main you are creating a complex object. और देखो पहले हम लोग लिखते थे c1 dot input, but now we are not writing c1 dot input, we are writing cin and then the extraction operator c1, and displaying cout the complex object is, and after that we are writing cout and then c1. So this is how we are overloading the insertion and extraction of. I hope you have understood this particular thing. Okay, now we are going to see as memory as stream object. That means what? If you want to directly write an object into the memory, okay, whatever goes into the memory goes one by one. But if I want to write the entire object, जैसे हम लोगों ने देखा था कि अगर हम लोगों को object फाइल में लिखना है तो we have to use the write function. In the similar manner, if you want to write the object inside the memory, there is one thing which you have to follow, that you have to include str stream. See, hash include str stream. This is the header file which uses a function which you want to write into the, directly write it into the memory. Okay, then you have hash include iostream. Now here I'm taking a string Kenshin, and I'm taking that the buffer size. If I want to mention that how many characters I want to write into the buffer of the memory, I'll write the buffer size. So here I'm giving 100 is my buffer. Now to write directly into the file, जैसे आप क्या करते हो, एफ आउट एफ स्ट्रीम का ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट किया, एफ आउट या एफ इन, और फिर आप लिखते हो एफ इन, एंड whatever you want to write into the file you give the insertion and extraction operator and then you write it. तो वैसे ही यहाँ पे to write into the file, first you have to write into the memory, you have to create an object of what, the memory. How to create an object of the memory stream object? You have to write ostr stream ob buff comma 100. So whatever you are writing inside the buffer, that buffer will go and write it into the memory. Okay, तो यहाँ पे जैसे आपने लिखा ओ बी ए, तो ए जो लिख रहे हो वो कहाँ पे जाएगा, इनटू द बफर ऑफ द मेमोरी. ओ बी एस टी आर, एस टी आर में जो वैल्यू है दैट इज चेंज, इट विल गो इनसाइड व्हाट, इट विल अगेन गो इनसाइड द मेमोरी. एंड इफ यू डिस्प्ले दिस बफर, देखो यहाँ पे सी आउट ए सी आउट एस टी आर नहीं किया, यहाँ पे क्या किया, सी आउट बफर. मतलब आपने जो मेमोरी में लिखा है ए एंड एस टी आर थ्रू ओ बी विच इज अ मेमोरी ऑब्जेक्ट, इट गोज इन टू द बफर, और बफर को डिस्प्ले करोगे तो वही वैल्यूज आपको दिखेगी. So this is acting, memory is acting as a stream object. In the coming lecture we are going to see about command line arguments, but let me tell you about command line arguments. What these command line arguments are, that whenever you want to pass certain things through a command prompt, मतलब आपके पास अगर विंडोज़ नहीं है और आपको सिर्फ डॉस का कमांड प्रॉम्प्ट है और आपके प्रोग्राम को कुछ आपको कमांड्स पास करनी है, so you have to use what, command line arguments. Now command line arguments means what, I'll show you this. See this, when you are writing command line, I use cmd, this whatever comes is known as what, command prompt. तो ये command prompt पे आप जो भी send करते हो, suppose मैंने लिखा k and I am writing hello, so here k means what, it is the name of the program जिसको मैं arguments pass करना चाहती हूँ, and hello is my argument. Okay, this is what I have to do as a command line argument. So hello is known as a command line argument and k is the name of my file. इस तरीके से एग्जीक्यूशन होता है कमांड लाइन आर्गुमेंट का. तो जब आपके पास कमांड प्रॉम्प्ट से ही, सो लिनक्स में जनरली सारे जो कमांड्स होते हैं उसी के थ्रू सारे ऑपरेशंस होते हैं, एंड कमांड प्रॉम्प्ट इज द बेस्ट थिंग टू ऑपरेट. So this is command line arguments, and we'll see about command line arguments in the coming lecture tomorrow. So I hope that you have understood about overloading, insertion and extraction operator, and how to write an object into the memory O stream through OSTR stream object. Okay, and for command line arguments we are going to see that each and every program is consisting of two types of arguments. So we'll see this in the coming lecture. Thank you.